Hey everyone, Rob here, and I have some breaking news that's actually quite sad, and it's all coming out of Grindavik. It started earlier in the day. Now, rescue teams in the Southernest are looking for a person who is believed to have fallen into a crevasse in Grindavik, and this was caused by the earthquake. So they were doing there. The police chief says the man was working to fill the crack. There were no eyewitnesses to this incident, but there were suspicions on him actually falling in. And the information officer of the Accident Prevention Association said in an interview with one of the news agencies here that calls started to get received around 10:40 this morning. Just for a frame of reference, it's now 12 hours later. It's currently 10:15 at night. Now, Jon says that they don't have the exact location of where he fell in on this crack, but it's a very large crack that is formed during all of the earthquakes and all the sort of fixing of things that have happened over the last few weeks, and it runs through the town of Grindavik. The search is still ongoing. We have police officers, firefighters, rescue workers. Everyone's working on the scene and have all confirmed this with the news agency. Now, again, the tools of this man who is believed to have fallen into a crack. There's no evidence yet of him actually in there other than, a lot of circumstantial evidence. So the tools were found inside the crack. And the police chief again says everything indicates that the man went into the crack along with the tools and that the man had been working alone on compacting the soil after filling in a bunch of cracks. It's not really something that's come out on what kind of tools are involved, since the situation they're saying is so sensitive. We have the special forces of Iceland, among others, involved in this search, which has been going on again since early this morning at around 11 o'clock. And you can see from the pictures here that they were beginning to bring in a lot of heavy equipment to try and get closer down into the crack. Work was done to widen the opening of the crack so that some sort of basket can be lowered safely into the crack, and much has collapsed from the sides of the crack when this basket was first lowered in. The conditions of the scene are not ideal, but of course they're saying that the search and rescue operations will continue until the man is found. It says that men working on repairs in the town have been asked to take a break while all of this is ongoing. Now again, rescue team personnel from all of the Southerners region have been called out, and now our so-called precursor group from the capital area has joined the group, and they're about 15 on the scene, all working together. People that are coming to help, they're experienced mountain rescuers who will now take a look at descending into the crevasse in order to search inside it. Again, everything indicates that this man's at the bottom of the crack, but of course the rescue teams are also combing the area around this sort of fissure in this crack in the ground. The conditions are very difficult. The crack is very deep, and there's a risk of further collapse from it. Now, it's been a terrible storm and very windy and rain, and that is not helping the situation there. So all care is being taken so the rescuers themselves are not put in danger during the search operations. So we had some people going into the crack just before about 3 p.m. in order to investigate the situation. And according to them, again, the crack is very deep and is danger from collapsing from all sides. An announcement from the police website also about a possible work accident in Grindavik, and it said the man who is now being sought was alone at work on soil compacting after filling in the cracks. So we have that. Carrying on into the night, the rescue teams resumed their search for this guy who fell. The search is carried out in such a way that two people are kind of searching at once, one descending into the crack in a basket, and then the other one, of course, taking a look at the surrounding area. Now, the platform has been secured in such a way that it's completely safe to send people back down, because they did see that it was collapsing when they were doing it earlier. The situation in this whole region is very difficult. I mean, we have a looming eruption, we have seismic activity that can happen anytime, and also we have the way the crack is. They say it's just a very challenging task. It's under constant assessment for the safety of the people who are doing this. Crews have been announced for both through the night and into the morning if needed, and they are going to work on this until he has been found. Now, according to Yon, the crack is such that it opens into a larger space that is not visible from above. And there's apparently information on what the volume inside the crack looks like, and therefore they were able to search the area a little bit better. Now, again, all of this is coming in at the sort of 11th hour. You know, it's an ongoing situation in Grindavik. And you know, the announcement from police that the project was being worked on, and just as it is, and the work that was being done, and this project is related to work on damage assessment and safety measures in connection on behalf of Iceland's natural disaster insurance. Now, when we're looking at how deep this crack might be, some people are saying that it's between 25 to 30 meters deep, and it goes all the way down into the groundwater. We have reporters describing the situation who are allowed to be there. They're saying that it's very difficult. In addition to the darkness that they're now facing, again, it's just about 10:20. Darkness, rain, wind, all of this is ongoing, and the working conditions of the team are really being stressed. And they've been on alert since the earthquakes originally started back in November. And I mean, before that, there was an eruption. And before that, we had another eruption. So they're really being put to the extremes, the search and rescue team, as well as a lot of the other rescue people throughout the Suðurnes region, through the Reykjanes Peninsula. Now, a total of 124 people are taking part in this rescue work in Grindavik, and 99 people are apparently on the scene in the evening. So rescue operations, again, still ongoing. They're going down in with sort of a basket into the crack several times, and between all of these, they shovel soil out of the crack. Fire trucks are being sent to Grindavik so that they have power, because, you know, one of the carts that rescuers have been using today had lost power, and the fire engine gave them a start. Again, it's been about 12 hours since this incident happened, and it's the longer it takes, the worse it's going to be. 20-30 meter fall. If he's down there, then, you know, it's not a good situation. So that's the biggest news coming out of today. There were some other smaller things coming out of Iceland. You know, there was an earthquake earlier in the day felt in Reykjavik. Nothing extreme. We can see here just on the map that there's not a lot of activity due to the weather, and it's messing up with the measurement tools. But we can see that there was an earthquake that was just over a magnitude of 2, something like a 2.4 earlier in the day. But again, big news coming out is the search and rescue efforts to find this guy, this worker who was filling in cracks and fell into one of the crevasses that was a result from the earthquakes. Hopefully they find him soon. Stay tuned, because as soon as they do, unless I'm fast asleep throughout the night, I'm definitely going to be updating on the situation. So be sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening.